Dear students, welcome back in my class of CIS 3158 Mobile Applications and Game Development. As I said earlier, we are in week number 7, and in this week our focus is on Minimax search techniques. The aim and objectives are given in the next slide. You already know the aim, that is exploring Minimax search techniques, and in order to achieve this aim, I have enlisted 4 objectives. And this one we completed in part number 1 video lecture, this one we completed in part 2, and these two will complete in this part, that is in part number 3rd video lecture of week 7. So here you can see we want to understand the working of Minimax search techniques, and then we'll discuss how we can apply heuristic approach for Minimax searching methods. I have elaborated what is Minimax searching technique in the next slide. So here you can see Minimax searching technique is a kind of backtracking algorithm. In the previous slide, in the previous video lecture, I explained what is backtracking, and I will quickly brief you about what is backtracking. Backtracking is a process, it is a process of exploring all possible state for finding optimal solution. So backtracking is the process of exploring all possible states for finding the solution. So if you are moving from, this is state number 1, you are moving to state number 2, then state number 3rd, and then after reaching to this state, there is no, you cannot move to the next state, that is this state is the dead end. It is the dead end. So what you will do, you will move back, and at this state you will explore, is there state 4 or state 5 or state 6 are available here or not. So if you have state 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or any other state, then you will move to these states, that is either you can move to state 4, state 5, state 6 or any other state, and then you will keep on moving from state 4, 5 or 6. If you do not have any other state to move, after, suppose you are moving from state 3 to state 2 and you do not have these states, then what you will do, you will move back to S1, and then you will see what you can do at this state. So you will start from the beginning again, and you will explore the possibilities, new states to find out the optimal solution. So this is the idea of backtracking, and Minimax search technique is a type of backtracking algorithm. So it indicates that here you will explore the states by moving forward and moving back. Backtracking method helps in decision making. It is very popular in game theory, like we are going to use Minimax searching technique for gaming. Because why it is popular? Because it provides the best solution or optimal move for a player. That is why it is very popular in gaming. And in game theory, it assumes that opponent are equally good, and opponent is also searching for the optimal solution. So there are two players, player 1 and player 2. Player 1 and player 2. So here the assumption is they are playing a computer game. Both of them are playing a computer game. It means that what this algorithm assumes, that player 1 and player 2 have equal capabilities of playing game and finding optimal solution. So this is the same point is listed as a point number 3. So here in Minimax search technique, it is assumed that both the player have equal potential, equal capabilities of playing any specific game, and this player want to win or get the maximum score, and equally player 2 is also intended to get the maximum score and win the game. To understand this, what you will do, you will implement tic-tac-toe game during your tutorial session, and tic-tac-toe game you implemented in week 3 for 2 player, player 1 and player 2, X player and O player, because player 1 is using X symbol, player 2 is using O symbol, so that is why I am calling it player X and player O. So here, as I said, as I explained in part 1 video lecture, you will be applying refactoring of code. So by applying refactoring of the code, you are converting player 2 as a computer player. So your computer will be player 2. So this is what you are going to do, and then you are adding the code for Minimax searching technique. That is, you are adding the code for backtracking, you are adding the code for decision making, you are adding the code for optimal move. So this is all you are going to do in this week tutorial for incorporating the concept of Minimax search techniques in your game. Now for tic-tac-toe game, if you are applying the concept of Minimax searching, the idea is, why it is called as Minimax, because one of the player will try to maximize the score. On the other hand, the other player will try to minimize the score of the opponent. So here the idea is, this player thinks that if I will take the move, I should get some reward. On the other hand, this player thinks that if he will reduce the score of this player, then he will be the winner. So his aim is to minimize the score of this player, and this player is aiming to maximize the score. That is the reason it is called as Minimax searching techniques. And same thing is given here. If you read this, you will get the same idea. Now, how Minimax algorithm will work for tic-tac-toe game. So here I have given the steps for tic-tac-toe game. So X is the turn taking player. So in this case, this is the state. So game has reached to this state, and now player X has to take the move. So what are the possibilities player X can search for taking the next move? Player X, if this is the state, player X can place X in the center. Player X can place the cross in this block. Player X can place cross X in this block. So if player X is placing X in this block, then player 1 will be the winner and he will get the point. On the other hand, if he is placing X in this block or in this block, then he will not going to get any point. So no point. No point, and in this case also no point. Whereas if placing the cross in the center, player will get suppose 10 points. So the idea is, when you will start the game, this algorithm we are going to implement in the tutorial session. So in the beginning you will check game is over or not. If the game is not over, if this is true, then just come out from the game. No need to take any step, because game is already over. Otherwise, that is else, get a list of new game states. So find out the states. So here what this player will do, player will check the state. So this is state number S1, I'm calling it, let's say S1. This is state number 2, S2, and this is state number 3, S3. So what player will do, player will find out all the possible states where the player can take the move, and then add the results at by after placing the after selecting the state. So here in this case, player X has 3 state S1, S2 and S3. If player X is selecting state S1, then he will get some score. Add this score in the total score. So if score S is the total score, then add 10 in the total score. So this is what is given here. Then if X turn, then return the maximum score, then return this as a result. If O is the turn, then what O player will get? O player will get minimum score, because O player is not going to get any point if X player is selecting this state. So this is the algorithm. I have given some other state also. So if X player is going to make the move, and if the state is like this, so what X player can do? X player can place X here, here and here. If X player is taking this state, then he will get 10 points and the game is over. If X player is selecting this state, then what will happen in the next move? X player can select, O player will use this state or O player will use this state, because after selecting this state, O player will take the move. So O player can select these 2 states. Then for X player will get chance to place X here, then again he will be the winner. So X player is trying to maximize this score. On the other hand, O player is trying to minimize the score of X player. In this case, what will happen? If X player is selecting this state, then in the next move, O player will play the move. So O player may select this state or O player may select this state, because this one and this one, 2 places are left. So any one place X player can select. So if X player is selecting this place, then this is the possibility for winning for X player. So X player score will increase and O player score will get reduced or minimized. So here X player is targeting for maximizing the score. On the other hand, O player is trying to minimize the score. And that is the reason, as I said, it is referred as min-max search algorithm, or the structure is like a tree. This is the root of the tree, and that is why it is also referred as Minimax search tree. Now the next slide is to show the tutorial structure. In the tutorial, as usual, the first step is creating the setup for the tutorial. So in this, you will create the folder, create the directory for week 7, and you will copy the code from the earlier tutorial. Then this is what refactoring. You will apply refactoring for week 3 tutorial, where you created tic-tac-toe game. There you created game for 2 player. Here one of the player will be computer. So by applying refactoring, you are converting one of the player as a computer. Then computer player you will create. Then you will apply Minimax method. You will add some heuristic in your code, and then you will complete the tutorial for week 7, and then I will explain task 5, and it will be due in week number 8, that is in the next week on 27, I guess, 9 AM. So that's all in this session from my side. Thank you very much.